Hey, what's up guys? Here today to talk about another Wild Medkits product here. If you haven't seen the last video, go click up here where I reviewed and talked about the Major Bleed Kit, which is a kit that I got from Wild Medkits because, well, it was sort of inspired by an accident that I had a couple years ago. So if you want to watch that story, click up there in the top. After releasing that last video, I know, as some of you guys have told me, that some of you went and bought kits and stocked up your own first aid supply, which is wonderful to hear. A lot of you guys told me that you're already quite prepared. You already keep a good kit on hand when you're out in the woods, or you keep a good kit in your shop when you're working, which is wonderful to hear. A lot of you guys are doing far better than me when it comes to your first aid prep. We're going to talk about this kit now. This is the Wilderness, kind of like their standard first aid kit. The general purpose hiking backcountry, I would say, first aid pack. We're going to go through it. One thing I'll point out before we dig into this, in case some of you guys get bored and click to another video, along with a first aid products like a beautiful kit like this, or maybe you choose to buy all your items individually and assemble it yourself, make sure you address this part of the situation as well. Make sure you're mentally prepared. I know you can never really be mentally prepared for a major wound, but make sure you know how to handle a wound, the proper types of things to do, so that if you have just a semi-serious calf wound, that you don't lace off your thigh with a tourniquet for a few hours and end up, well, you know where that could go. I mean, you could end up losing a leg. Make sure you use, or you understand, knowledge-wise, the appropriate measures to take for certain wounds. You need to be prepared. If you're going out with friends or family with you, you need to be prepared to deal with things that could happen to them. What if they were to fall and break an ankle? If they were to get a thigh laceration or an arm laceration, what are you going to do? If they end up choking or losing breath or something like that, what types of things do you need to do? So that, other than just buying one of these, throwing it in the back of the truck or throwing it in your backpack, and that's all you ever do, make sure you understand your kit. Make sure you understand what to do with the items. So let's have a look now at this beautiful kit. Now, just like with the last kit, this kit is beautifully organized and prepared. You can see you do have an option here to wear this on a belt or to lace it to your pack. It doesn't have all the MOLLE option like the trauma kit, but this is a bit bigger as well, so you're probably not gonna want to lace this to your leg or something like that. You also have a carry handle here at the top and some grommets to lace it on if you want to throw it on a shoulder strap and take it with you on a hike or something. But let's have a look at the inside. First off, you have here, which I really like with their kits, they have a full inventory list. This is nice first off because if you use something, you can check it off when you're in the woods or something, and you know you have to replenish that, you know you have to replace the item. It also lets you know everything that's in here, so you can take a quick look and see that I do indeed have a moldable splint in here, or I indeed do have a permanent marker. Okay, so let's take a quick look at some of the items they provided. Remember, this is their general wilderness first aid kit. So we'll have a look at this side first. First off, we have an emergency safety blanket. This is those foil reflective blankets. Very useful for keeping in temperature. If you were stranded or you're caught, say, with a broken leg in the wintertime, your buddy has to go get help, you're sitting for a while. It's not like you can go around and collect materials and keep your fire going well. Hopefully you got a stock of wood there around the camp that you can manage to feed in with your hand, but this would definitely be useful in keeping those temperature up. We have a couple of these triangular bandages. These can be nice for like a broken collarbone or a broken shoulder, or dislocated shoulder, things like that, to get your arm supported. A couple tongue depressors can be useful. We talked about the issue of choking. This can be really helpful to get at the back of the throat. Compression bandage. I really like these. I've had to use them before with on my wrists. I tend to have a little bit of wrist issue from time to time. It's nice to have those stretch support bandages. You also have a cohesive medical bandage here. So this is like a stretchy type gauze bandage. I don't have much experience with those. You have the trainer's tape as well. This is that tough, real sticky tape that would be good for bandaging up a wound or a support. You have nitrile gloves, really useful. I use a lot of these, but they're separated off in packs, so they're nice, going to be nice and clean if you have to deal with a wound or something like that. And the last thing, look at this. This is a moldable splint. There's a diagram on the outside here that shows how to fix it to your arm, how to use it for your arm, or how to deal with an ankle injury as well. That's really nice. It's sort of this hard foam. It's folded up. It's sealed in the packaging. I don't think I want to take it out right now. I like that it's kept nice and clean in there. But this is a beautiful piece of kit to have on hand. I would say out hiking and tearing around the woods and stuff, something like an ankle injury is probably one of your most common issues. So to be able to support that, you might be able to hobble out with a friend's help or something like that. Now on this side of the pack, they've put kind of the lighter duty stuff right outside on front, because we have a few different compartments. The light duty quick grab stuff like band-aids, a whole different selection styles of band-aids here. It's nice to have that right out front, so that's probably your most common thing that you're going to be wanting to snatch up. We also have a sterile dressing. This is one of those little bit thicker ones, a 3-inch compress. Very nice for wounds. This, of course, is this was in the trauma kit as well. This is one of the CPR one-way valves, because it's going to get a little bit gross. You can click ahead, but a lot of times people don't realize, because they never show this obviously on TV and movies and stuff, when you have to perform CPR on someone, they end up with so much chest compressions, they end up vomiting. And if you have to give mouth to mouth, that's not very pleasant. It could really be dangerous, especially if it's something that you don't know super well and you're not confident in what health issues they might have going on. You put one of these over and it covers their mouth. It allows you to blow air in, but it doesn't allow anything to come back out at you. So this is a wonderful thing to have. Another pair of nitrile gloves. You have a pair of shears here to shear off any clothing if you needed to get that off in a hurry. Plus, of course, shears are useful for a lot of different things. And then you also have, this was in the trauma kit as well, a very nice electrolyte replenishing. So if you were stuck in a dire situation, or like we talked about earlier, where your buddy's gone off to get a team to come help you, you're stuck in the woods for 8 or 10 hours. This, of course, you have your oral rehydration salt packet here. You have several packets of honey. You also have a Bic lighter. A Bic lighter is really handy on its own, but you can also warm up that honey, get it in nice liquid form, so you can more easily eat it. So it's easier to go down on your stomach. Lastly, we have this zip pocket here. All kinds of goodies. We have a bunch of different types of bandages here. I believe this type here would be, this little one here, would be like for a broken nose, one of those ones that would open your nose, help with breathing. And we have, yeah, just several different types of bandages here. Your less common styles, and they're inside. So things are strategically laid out here as well. So next up here we have an injury illness report. So this is like a triage paper with a marker. I would say if you had a serious injury and you were going to be there for a little bit and you had to rely on someone else, I would pull this thing out and start filling it out. Because I know that's a little bit of a grave situation, or a little bit gruesome or hard to think about, but put in your age, your name, because if you're going to lose consciousness and someone's going to find you, you need to have some information on that. Could really make a big difference. Could also be useful for a buddy to fill out for you, but it allows you to measure take note of different issues, your last oral intake, events prior. So it would give medical personnel some idea, a good idea first off, of how to better address your situation. Inside here we also have this big baggie, which is full of like antiseptic wipes, so alcohol and what, benzalkonium chloride. Lots of those cleaning wipes. We have a larger abdominal pad and some other larger wound dressings, which is great to have on hand. Garbage bags, which is great. We have a Ziploc here, which can be, Ziploc can be useful for a lot of different things. It's like that garbage bag as well. We have a good pair of tweezers, which can really make all the difference if you're out for the day. Can really make a big difference having a good pair of tweezers. And the other thing here in this kit that is real nice, this is the last thing, and that is a sterile, well, it's not going to be sterile now, but we have a sterile ligation, or irrigation syringe. So if you had a nasty wound, again, going to be there for a little bit. First off, if you had some bottled water, you could pour it on your wound, but it's a bit harder to get it in there. But being able to draw up some clean bottled water and being able to actually get it in the wound and rinse the wound all out, especially if it's something dirty, could really make a big difference when it comes to infection. If you're around a campfire and you've got a canteen of water there boiling, you let it cool down a little bit, and you know it's nice and clean, disinfected. Again, draw up some of that clean water and irrigate a wound, clean everything all out. That's really going to make a big difference when it comes to infection. So that's it. The kit absolutely speaks for itself. Put together by wildmedkits.ca, who is primarily, as I understand, run by a man named Ken. Ken is the best. If you've dealt with Ken, if you've talked to him, he is an awesome guy. He is a medic, and he has been a wilderness guide, I believe, for a couple decades. So he's the man you want putting together your kits. He knows what he's talking about. I know he's happy to answer any questions you have as well. Super open to answering any questions. So if you have any, make sure you shoot him a message before you order. But yeah, no commission or anything like that. Just I want to make sure you guys are all fitted out well. And still remember though, it's no good to just buy your gear and throw it back and not learn what to do with it and not learn how to handle medical injuries. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button. Leave me a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel if this is your first time here. We'll see you in the next video.